Good evening. Many thanks for joining us live on QTV. You are watching QTV News and I am Ajibintu Drame. In tonight's top stories. President Barrow is joined by other West African leaders in Accra, Ghana for the 59th ECOWAS Heads of State Summit. Sickle cell disease unequally affects people of African descent. We hear how World Sickle Cell Day is commemorated in the Gambia. A food processing platform, which could be a game changer, is launched in Yundum. In international news, former President Laurent Gbagbo returns to Ivory Coast, having been found not guilty on appeal by an international court where he faced human rights charges. In sports, an innovative scheme is launched using football to get youths to register and participate in the political process. Well, that's it from me in tonight's edition. Thank you for watching. Now, the local news in detail. The 59th Ordinary Summit of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and the Government on Saturday opened in Accra, Ghana, where leaders will discuss and take decisions on pertinent issues in the sub-region. Aliou Cisse reports.
ECOWAS leaders, including President Barrow, on Friday arrived in Accra, Ghana for the 59th Ordinary Summit, which was held virtually last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The summit is hosted under the chairmanship of Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, who is praised for his continued commitment and support in the implementation of all the major integration ECOWAS projects. In keeping with the usual practice, the session will consider the reports of the Council of Ministers as well as specific reports submitted for guidance and decisions. In this respect, the preparatory work for the summit centered on 5 major issues, including trade and the pending single currency. Despite the significant efforts made by member states, particularly those on the front line, terrorist attacks doubled between the first 5 months of 2021 and 2020. Over that period, there have already been more than 700 attacks and more than 2,000 civilians and military deaths, with an increase in the number of displaced persons. These attacks occur largely in Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria, spreading to coastal countries. The implementation of a regional plan of action to combat terrorism, which the leaders adopted in September 2019, has commenced and should complement the significant efforts made by each member state. However, there is a need to speed up the resource mobilization for its implementation. With regard to health, despite the fact that the number of infections is under control, the COVID-19 pandemic still remains a challenge. All member states have started their vaccination program following direct procurement of vaccines by countries or through the COVAX facility. The ECOWAS Commission President Jean Claude Casigro welcomes the recent decision by the G7 to provide additional doses to developing countries, which he hopes will help increase the availability of vaccine in the region. On the political front, the region has just completed electoral cycle with 7 presidential elections and several legislative elections in 14 months, in accordance with the constitutional timetable of the member state concerned, thus strengthening democratic gains.
2 ECOWAS member states are preparing presidential elections in the next few months. Cabo Verde in October 17th and the Gambia on the 4th of December. On the Gambia, where we are seeing a smooth running of electoral registration, we encourage all parties to reach a consensus on the constitutional process. We also commend the Inter-Party Committee for its efforts towards dialogue, and this serves as a gauge of peaceful and credible elections. In addition, the implementation of recommendations that came out of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Committee is a challenge that the Gambia must face.
Following a 1% decline in 2020, the region is expected to return to positive economic growth in 2021, projected at 3.4%, the same level as the pre-COVID period. However, this growth is still unsatisfactory and will remain below the average for the continent. Therefore, countries must continue to increase public and private investment in infrastructure and human capital. The concrete implementation of the conclusions of the Paris Summit on the financing of African economies, as well as the G20 initiative on debt treatment beyond the debt service suspensions, are urgently required. In terms of intra-regional trade, which had been greatly affected by border closures and COVID-19, The ECOWAS Commission President Casigro welcomed the reopening of the borders between Nigeria and Benin and Niger and between Guinea and Sierra Leone. At the opening of the summit, there was a signing of an agreement for the opening of the border between Senegal and Guinea. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Sickle cell disease is more common in certain ethnic groups, including people of African descent. As part of events marking World Sickle Cell Day, the Gambia Sickle Cell Association on Saturday held a march ending with several speakers speaking on the theme, Knowledge is Power. Antoine Esonyase reports.
Aimed at raising awareness of sickle cell globally, World Sickle Cell Day was recognized in 2008 by the United Nations General Assembly as a public health problem requiring collective global action. In observance of the day that is globally commemorated on June 19th each year, members of the Gambia Sickle Cell Association, in partnership with Guaranty Trust Bank Gambia Limited, on Saturday commemorated the day in a colorful ceremony attended by their members and their families, as well as senior officials of the Ministry of Health and Guaranty Trust Bank. The theme for this year's celebrations is Knowledge is Power, a motto officials hope will encourage people to seek and share information on sickle cell. Speaking on the importance of raising awareness on sickle cell, Aliou Badara Sambu, President of the Gambia Sickle Cell Association, and Abolaji Isaka Yusuf, Managing Director, Guaranty Trust Bank Gambia Limited, called on the public to join the campaign against sickle cell by supporting family members suffering from the disease.
As the theme for this year is Knowledge is Power, and we are celebrating with the rest of the world the same theme for the first time. I think, like I said, it's just the beginning of the journey.
Let the community, let the country, let's begin to go into the villages and tell our old, men and women that it is important for us to know this. This disease can be eradicated if we take the right step, and which is the step that this association have taken.
Honorable Usman Silla, Chairperson, Select Committee on Health, and Modun Jai, Director of Health Promotion and Education with the Ministry of Health, both underscored the importance of the celebration of the day. This, they say, gives sickle cell patients hope while reminding everyone of the need to support them. And they went on to call for more budgetary support, especially in raising awareness of hereditary but non-communicable diseases like sickle cell. They also commended GT Bank for extending support to the Sickle Cell Association.
You are warriors who are battling a condition, and you are registering victories every day. So you are winners. And I want to come to show solidarity with you. I am by your side.
This support will still continue, knowing that this is a very important group in the society that need to be supported so that their voices can be heard across the length and breadth of this country.
Saturday's event was characterized by several other speeches, drama plays and poems by members of the Sickle Cell Association who prefer to be referred to as warriors and not patients. According to the Director of Health Promotion and Education at the Ministry of Health, sickle cell is part of non-communicable diseases that account for 34% of all deaths in the Gambia. Sickle cell anemia is an inherited red blood cell disorder in which there aren't enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout your body. Its symptoms include pain in bones, muscles, abdomen, vision problems, delayed growth, shortness of breath, amongst others, that last for a long time. Antoine Esonyase for QTV News.
In other news, Enabel, a Belgian organization in collaboration with various Gambian ministries on Thursday, unveiled the agri-food processing platform project, which aims to increase local food production and broaden the Gambia's food self-sufficiency and marketing. This is my report. The project was secured in 2020 by Caripo, an Italian firm responsible for the design and construction supervision of the project at Yundum and Farafenni sites. The project is meant to present a comprehensive architectural design of the Yundum project platform. The project was prompted by the low supply of local food produce to the hotel industry, an important sector that imports 80% of their products, and the majority of remaining 20% is produced in neighboring Senegal. The project will help producers expand and increase production in a more conducive and efficient way, by also helping farmers generate wealth, together targeting domestic consumption, neighboring countries, and the international market. Burang Danjo, the chairman of the task force of the project, explained the worth and the duration of the project.
I understand quite a number of funds is going to be used because initially they are telling us the number of funds approved for the platform is about 4.5 million euro. The idea is to start laying the foundation by September. So you will possibly realize that if construction starts in September, by early to mid 2022, the platform will be ready for use.
Danjo says the project will be quite significant and sustainable.
The key aspect of it is that those buyers or processors will be linked to the vegetable growers or the farmers. And those farmers who are the frontline producers of the raw material will therefore have a ready market for their products. And that's the essence of establishing this platform. Most of the women produce the same variety at the same time. So what we need to do now is reorganize them so that production is staggered, is zoned, and is market-led.
The outline of the architectural design and the recommendations were presented after findings were made towards effective, efficient, and a bigger market.
Color of this building is blue because of the middle color of the Gambian flag. So we have painted the three main building structure as the three main color of the Gambian flag.
For fish products, people mentioned the fact that equipment supply is a bit of an issue, so there could be something around supplying those fishing gears and fishing or equipment needed for fishing activity or trading of fish products. And this is a question that goes beyond our mandate as IND and Kaizen Pro, but that remains now with you. I mean, we start saying that this initiative can only work if you guys put efforts together and work together to make this happen.
The project majorly focuses on vegetables, fruits, poultry and fisheries. The Yundum platform will be over a 3-hectare site that will be composed of multifunctional spaces with storage facilities for fresh products, cells for cold cycle and processing lines. The long-term aim is to increase production to sell the surplus. Families will be encouraged to produce order to sell them and with the income, buy other products to increase personal wealth and increase their new business. The processed products will be sold in the tourist villages, along the coast and in the market and around Banjul. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News. We will take a short commercial break. Still to come, we have more local stories, international and sports news follows. Do stay tuned.
Tobuski Act Style 4.0 coming soon on QTV. Sponsors invited.
Welcome back. Just tuning in. This is QTV News. Now, the Gambia National Youth Council recently organized an intergenerational dialogue with youth and political stakeholders to discuss the basics of democracy, political participation, and the maintenance of peace during election and post-elections. More in this report. The 2 days convergence brought together 50 youths and relevant stakeholders across the country, such as the IEC and political parties, to address political issues and, most importantly, the significance of maintaining peace between political parties in the country. As December presidential election approaches, the chairman of the National Youth Council encourages more youth and women participation in politics during and after elections.
I will still appeal to the young folks, because we form the majority, to participate fully and let them do it with decorum, with peace and security. We've traveled over the country, other side of the, the wall, and we saw how they conduct their elections. Election, as I said, goes and come, but Gambia remained the same. So I'm appealing to all the political parties, let us do this politics with peace and tranquility. Gambia belongs to all of us. So we should nurture peace in to our supporters, our fellow supporters. Let peace prevail in this country.
Sickle, representing the Minister of Youth and Sport, says the sustenance of democracy and peace is a cause for concern, adding that youth and women should take up responsibility and ownership to participate in politics.
Under the current circumstances, utterances of words and opinions of indifference between stakeholders is a cause for concern. However, the government is committed and is assuring the general public of a peaceful electoral process.
Our youth, a participant and representative from Banjul, states that if the youth are at peace, everyone will be at peace, adding that she is hopeful peace will prevail.
I think, especially this registration, I am very much happy because I have been observing since the beginning, and what I'm seeing is quite impressive. Because I am even seeing youth who are even less than 18 years, but they will be turning 18 at the age by election, and they are making it a priority to come and vote for the register for this election. I think things are changing, and youth are also taking responsibility when it comes to registration and participation in politics. But we are also pleading, and I know that it is going to be a peaceful election in December.
As youths are the majority in the Gambia, much is expected from them when it comes to participation in politics and the maintenance of peace before, during and after elections. Ajibintu Drame, QTV News. The Kanifing Municipal Branch of the Gambia Red Cross Society on Wednesday launched Smile for Hope Pad Drive initiative to promote menstrual hygiene and education. Abibatu Sise reports.
Menstrual health and hygiene refers to access to menstrual products to enhance menstruation and promote women's health. Factors such as social norms, cultural taboos, poverty and lack of sanitary products hinders menstruation in women and girls. At the launch of the Pad Drive initiative, Fatu M. Seka, the gender chairperson of KM Red Cross, says the project title, Smile for Hope, aims to put smiles on the faces of vulnerable women and girls in accessing menstrual products and education on menstrual health. She adds that under the project, there are many activities that the KM Red Cross will facilitate.
So Smile for Hope is a pilot project which we have other minor projects that we will be initiating, with the Pad Drive distribution is one of them. We also have reusable clothes which we can give to the vulnerable people, because we know that we have some people like the mentally ill are on the street. Some of them are not with clothes. So it is important for us to see how best can we help these people, because they feel that they are being marginalized. They are not included in the society. And looking into it as humanitarian workers, we believe that we can go beyond that. We can give a helping hand in order to wipe the tears of the less privileged.
The Secretary General of the Gambia Red Cross Society, Alassane Senghor, commended the KM Red Cross for the initiative while highlighting the effects of COVID-19 on women and girls in accessing menstrual products.
So this initiative that you're taking by contributing yourselves to help the others who cannot afford it is something that is commendable. So therefore, within the context of the national society, I can only assure you that what I need from you is a package of this Smile for Hope, well written, well documented, and I can assure you that we can get resources to support this.
Aliuke Fabre, the area youth representative of KM Red Cross, underscores the importance of the initiative, saying it will also help girls in reaching their potentials.
The acceptable menstrual health solution and knowledge enabling girls to adequately manage their monthly period and feel comfortable about it is a window of opportunity to influence the way girls see themselves in the society and can empower themselves to reach their full potentials.
The launching also saw the distribution of sanitary materials to 5 schools in the Kanifing municipality to promote menstrual hygiene in schools. Umidabo spoke on behalf of the beneficiary schools.
I will use them so that I will not miss classes. and I will share orders with friends so that they can also concentrate in class and use them usefully.
The Red Cross KM branch is now planning to distribute sanitary materials to all schools in the Kanifi municipal region and conduct training and education on menstrual health and hygiene. For QTV News, I am Abibatu Sise.
Now on to international news. Following his acquittal by the International Criminal Court after serving 7 years in custody in The Hague, former president of Ivory Coast, Laurent Gbagbo, returned to his homeland on Thursday from Belgium, where he was kept in detention on conditional release, waiting for an appeal trial on the court's acquittal decision. Modula Michoy reports.
It is the first step to his home country, more than a decade since his arrest inside an underground bunker at the presidential residence. This was followed by extradition to The Hague, where he faced 15 crimes against humanity charges stemming from a wave of post-election violence in the West African nation in 2010, which led to the killing of at least 3,000 people. Laurent Gbagbo has finally returned home to a country that he left behind with a simmering political tension. Still with a significant political support base at home, he was welcomed by hundreds who took to the streets to demonstrate in favor of his arrival at Yopougon district of Abidjan, considered his political stronghold. The country's local media have reported police firing tear gas in other neighborhoods to disperse similar crowds. In a jubilant mood, groups of Gbagbo supporters roll out the welcome mat with chants in solidarity with the former president. One group chanted, "Gbagbo is coming, we are going to install him," while others shouted, "Respect Gbagbo's power," from minivans heading for the airport, according to media sources. The former president's return comes after protracted negotiations between his camp and that of the government. His return was declared at a cabinet meeting on May 31st. The government's decision is seen as a move to reconcile in the West African nation that has long been divided. Speaking to the press, the incumbent president, Alassane Ouattara, is quoted as saying, "Laurent Gbagbo and Charles Blé Goudé, leader of the Jeune Patriote, also acquitted by the ICC, are free to return to Côte d'Ivoire whenever they wish." The Ivorian president also went on with a promise that arrangements will also be made for Laurent Gbagbo to benefit in accordance with existing texts from the advantages and allowances due to former president of the Republic. In reaction to questions on whether Gbagbo had been pardoned for his 20-year jail sentence for misappropriating funds, government spokesperson Amadou Coulibaly said, and I quote, "I would like to stick to the words of the head of state. I don't want to go further than that," also adding that there is an independent justice system. After 7 years in detention at The Hague, where his trial began in 2016, in 2019, ICC judges acquitted Gbagbo and Blé Goudé of crimes against humanity charges, citing lack of evidence by the prosecution. The prosecution appealed the initial acquittal on procedural grounds, citing grave errors in the decision, but this was dismissed by the appeal judges. Mahmoud Lamin Choy, QTV News.
Youths of Birkama Jidda Dar Silame organized a football competition to raise awareness on voter registration. More than 20 teams, at least 600 players are expected to take part in the competition. Our reporter, Mobudu Gajaga, attended the opening game and he now reports.
Register to vote. Your vote is your voice. We will all vote is the message these youths are putting across, using the world's most popular game, football, to amplify their voices on getting a voter's card. Officials of the Independent Electoral Commission will begin voter registration in the community of Dar Silame on Tuesday, the 22nd of June. According to the rules of the competition, every player must produce a voter's card by next week to be eligible to play in the tournament.
It's all about, sensitizing with the youths of Dar Silame, to go and register and, to cast a vote, That's why, this tournament is purposely for that, for voters registration. As you can see, this paper tells it everywhere.
Well, I think it's very, very important for every youth to take ownership of the, process. Because as the saying goes,
Either you participate or people that participate will do the doing and you are going to do the talking. So if you don't want to do the talking, it's better you participate and be part of it.
Officially, youths make up to at least 60% of the population, but a great chunk of them do not take part in the election process, from registering or voting. According to reports, youths in the community didn't vote in any significant numbers in the 2016 presidential election, and organizers of the tournament say with this competition, many youths will be encouraged to register to acquire their voters' cards and subsequently vote in the December 4th presidential election.
Kula mealonka kumata bake banko solata le praita nyatu adum banko le nyatu ta fasi ke kuti mealonko mul belbe kafula praike.
Encouraging the youth, to go and register, in order for them to exercise their franchise, because if they do not register, they will not have any voice. So this is more of the reason why I'm so delighted. I'm very happy.
The opening game of the competition ended in a 1-all draw. Aliou Sede scored for Bukunam FC in the first half, and Musa Kamara levelled for Black Stars late in the game. The idea of using football in this way is an innovative one, and it will be interesting to see if it gets the intended results. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Well, before we end this bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main headlines. President Barrow is joined by other West African leaders in Accra, Ghana for the 59th ECOWAS Heads of State Summit. Sickle cell disease unequally affects people of African descent. We heard how World Sickle Cell Day is commemorated in the Gambia. A food processing platform which could be a game changer is launched in Yundum. In international news, former President Laurent Gbagbo returns to Ivory Coast, having been found not guilty on appeal by an international court where he faced human rights charges. In sports, an innovative scheme is launched using football to get youths to register and participate in the political process. Well, that's it from me. Thank you for watching and have a good evening.